I'm here with Candie Cooper, and Candie, you've brought an absolutely beautiful mobile that combines a little bit of bling, a little bit of nature. I love it.
These are super relaxing to make, Julie. I know you're gonna have fun with this one.
Yes.
Okay, so the first thing you need is a stack of wood things.
Okay.
Shapes, they can be tiny popsicle sticks, and at the craft store you can get these little pieces in all
At the coffee shop, you can find these for free.
Julie. Anyway, so then you're going to arrange your pieces. Like, I make a lot of jewelry, so I started with this one and then kind of adding some
So do you always start with
fringe.
your biggest piece?
That's a good point. No, you know what? This was the hardest part of this, was getting the pieces right where I wanted them.
Oh, and you can layer them on top of each other too.
You can think about that too. So you can also deconstruct your shapes. So like this was a big circle that we cut in half.
I was going to say, this looks like a popsicle stick that was cut in half.
Yeah, and it looks kind of scary where you cut it, or where I cut it. So you want to just go ahead and grab your little power sander. This is like a baby power sander. That's on a little bit too slow it down.
If you're going to use a power tool, you might as well really use it.
Yeah, but this is just a great way to just knock off your edges. And then, as you just saw, you can adjust your speed with that little dial. So if you find it's not chewing that wood off, just crank up your speed a little bit. So clean up all your pieces, and then we can drill. Let's go ahead and drill now.
Okay.
So you've got your pieces laid out. You can mark them with a pencil, or if you're working right here, you know, in the same spot.
For people who've never used a drill, some safety things. You're drilling onto a wooden block, you're wearing glasses.
I've got my safety glasses on because I need my eyes. In case, you never know when something's gonna flip. And then this little guy, which is how I tried to start the sander, this is how you can crank up the speed or slow it down. I know, depending on what you're drilling, like if you were drilling metal, you would need a faster speed. So you would just put your pieces down. You can mark them if you want, or not, whatever.
And you just push it straight down, just a tap, until you feel the bottom layer of wood.
Right. Try to stay straight up and down if you can. But if you don't, it's not the end of the world.
Right.
Okay, so let's get to the fun doodling part.
Okay, I'm ready.
So can you hand me the peach and blue markers?
Yes, I can. Here you go.
Thank you. And so now these are great because they have two sides. I like this chisel tip when I'm coloring wide surface or big surface areas. The other thing I found when creating this mobile is that letting the wood show just kind of gave the piece a really nice natural
Yeah, so you're not coloring completely over every single inch. You're letting there be some wood showing, which I think is great.
Thank you.
The other thing I want to point out that you're doing sort of naturally, but some people don't realize, and I'll just show it actually, I'll use my own marker to show it, which is you can use both the flat side here, but you can also just use the chisel tip to create a small line or to finish an edge, which is really nice.
Yes.
And then of course, you know, you can use the rounded tip to do what I like, which is let's doodle.
Yes, super handy. So this one, I'm using the finer tip to fill in these circles.
And now I'm going to be able to even over this black.
That's amazing.
Go ahead. I think it's really cool.
I'm going with the metallic gold, and these also.
Because you're a bling girl.
I am. I like that sparkle. So these also, like I used the larger version of this same pen for the mobile that's hanging up over.
Because you can use different tip sizes. It's just like different size paintbrushes. I think sometimes people think of markers as something totally separate from paint. But actually, you know, especially with paint markers, it's just a different way of getting it onto your project. It's not a different product.
That's right. So before I forget, I want to just to touch on, if you want to stack up your shapes, this is kind of like adult coloring books. Don't you feel like?
Oh my gosh, you know what this is? This is like 3D puzzle coloring books or something. You're getting to sort of add in the pieces where you want. And I can see that this is one of those addictive things where all day long you'd be coloring and doing stuff and gluing things to each other.
With simple shapes.
Yeah.
So like I've already glued one piece on, but now we can even glue another one on.
Oh.
And a little dab will do ya.
Oh, and that's so nice where you leave the wood raw, actually, because it harkens back to everything.
Totally.
So how long are we going to have to wait for this glue to dry?
You're not sitting out 30 seconds. This has a 30-second set time. So like even let your shapes go and don't get it stuck to your finger like I am right now.
Well, it's super strong, so you might want to wear gloves if you know.
But even let your shapes go off. I don't know. Glue
I
some
love that
sticks,
idea, how it's slightly going off. That makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And actually, I know it isn't completely set because it hasn't been quite 30 seconds, But look at that, that's really cool.
Amazing. So then to link your pieces together, I'm just using good old-fashioned jump rings. These are about 15 millimeters. Twist open your link and then connect your pieces. And you would just keep linking them together in that same fashion, including the top.
This is so cool, Candie. I love this project. I want to try it.
Thank you.
You rock.